Okay, hello guys. I'm here on the chapter 2 analysis of the Metamorphosis. I found some interesting things in chapter 2, and I'd just like to share them with you. Okay, so in chapter 2, Gregor's just waking up from a coma-like sleep, is the way Kafka puts it. He went to sleep immediately after his encounter with the boss, and his father, and he's back in his room. The first thing that happens in the chapter is he's offered some food by his sister, and this chapter is all about man versus insect. It's probably not as important, well, it is important to the story as chapter 1, but we see a progression towards insect in this chapter, and Kafka gives us some human elements of Gregor's being. For instance, he wants to thank his sister. He wants to show his gratitude towards his sister for her her feeding him, and another interesting thing is the financial. That was very interesting. Gregor's very concerned about his parents' finances now that he can't work. He's an insect, and his father apparently has been saving money, and that's very important because his father could have used this money to pay back his debt to Gregor's boss, but instead he saved it for a rainy day. And now Gregor shows no sign of resentment, but he's got to be feeling some pretty strong feelings towards his father for not paying off his debt and getting him that much closer to his freedom, his financial freedom, and so forth. We see here also that Gregor feels more comfortable in his insect body. He starts crawling up the wall. In fact, he says here he especially liked hanging from the ceiling. And Greta, I think it's Greta. Greta notices this, and she decides it would be better for Gregor if she takes out his furniture. And he responds to that: the furniture prevented him from carrying on his senseless crawling. And for him, he feels like he's forgetting all his human ways. And the furniture is there to remind him who exactly he is, and he also covers himself with a blanket. I think that's kind of funny. He's so ashamed of his body, he doesn't want anyone to see him. Very human. A bug wouldn't do that, so you can still see the remnants of his human essence still there. The full embodiment of his verminous essence is still not taken its full form. It's particularly interesting when they start clearing out his room, his mother and his sister, and he feels completely powerless because they're depriving him of everything he loves, and it's a fundamental part of his life, his furniture, now that he's an insect, because that's one of the furniture is one of the only things that reminds him of his humanness. So, feeling powerless, he clings to a painting of a lady in a fur coat on his wall, and that is when his mother actually sees him on the wall, and she hasn't seen him in his insect form up until this point. And she freaks out, she faints. Gregor wants to go help his sister, who goes to get a bottle of alcohol to wake her up. But as soon as he goes into the next room with his sister, she drops the bottle of alcohol. It breaks. A piece of glass flies into his face. He's injured, and he goes off and he runs around the house. And when his father gets home, his father's not his. This is an interesting thing. His father's first reaction is to batter him back into his room, to barricade him back in, to force him back into his cave-like cell as it's been made into now by his mother and his sister by taking out all the furniture. And I think that was just weird. I think you can see that he's still in chapter 2. He's still a man trapped in an insect's body. However, I think as the story progresses, we're going to see how he increasingly loses his ties with man, and really adopts the essence, his true essence, which is this petty, inhuman person that he's made through choices over his entire life. But I think that'll come out in later chapters. He's still demonstrating some things that are very human, and his freedom is crucial in this chapter. He's striving to be free, and just as in his human life, he's not succeeding. The choices of others are dictating his freedom, and I think that's very important to this chapter. That the decisions of others are influencing his freedom, just as they did when he was a human. And Kafka really, he's paralleling Gregor's human life with his insect life. And on a tangent here, well, getting back, not a tangent, but getting back to the story, the last scene, the last paragraph of this of chapter 2 is Gregor's father throwing an apple into his back and gets embedded in his back, and we'll have to see where that goes. But not good things coming out of the Zamza household, and Gregor is definitely Gregor's freedom is definitely being inhibited by the decisions, the choices, the mentality of others. So that's chapter 2. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I will see you for chapter 3. That's all. If you have any questions, comments, send us a comment, video, whatever. That's all. Bye, guys.